What's this? Come on, man. Want the big bottle up here, right? All right, we'll keep it there.
Don't open it.
We'll put my cup on there. We'll go with 2. What's this? Man, this will be gone in like 3 seconds. We won. Well, come on, see if we lost. It's left over from the Caymans? Go ahead.
Question?
Good. We can
Wait for the mic, Coach.
Come on.
I'm
We're all right.
Just talking about Nick, you know, and the night he had. I mean, 16 and 15. You know, he's just kind of a guy that.
You know what I love about Nick too? Another night, 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's per minutes played right now. That's one reason the ball's in his hand so much, and it's been there for a while because per minute played. I mean, he's least amount of turnovers on the team. I mean, his turnover deflection number ratio is tremendous. And I'm not sure what he had tonight. We had 31 on the game, but he's continuing to get better and better. He's gaining confidence. I love seeing that 3 go down. I think he gets an extra a triple jolt of energy when he hits a 3 like that because we work on it hard in practice. But he's getting better and better. And what he's doing, one thing that he's doing, he's attacking, but he's so much better at playing with his eyes up, right? Sees things. So he doesn't just see the rim or see one guy, he's seeing things. And that's the kind of guard skill. You know, we train basketball players, right? We're trying to make guys better basketball players every day, no matter what their size or positioning is. And the more you're around Nick, the more that you see the epitome of that. He's a basketball player. And he just happens to be really tall and really long, but he's gaining confidence all the time. And that's really important for us.
Continuing on Nick, he had a plus 42 plus minus. How many times?
Plus what?
Plus
I haven't
42.
seen that yet. Do I have that sheet? No, I didn't have that sheet. Go ahead. That's
plus
good. That's
42
great.
plus 40 minus.
That'll work.
How many times in your career have you seen a number like that for plus minus?
Well, I've got to look at the plus minus. That's a high one. I don't know if I've ever coached a team that held a team to one 3-pointer, you know, in the game. But I also had a few firsts last week, you know, for us that were on the negative side of firsts. But plus 42. See, to me, the context of how much better is he making everybody else. And when you're not turning the ball over and you're getting those kind of possessions and he's creating for others and you're impacting the game on both ends of the court like that, that's fantastic. But we got to keep getting better at it, right? I mean, we got to keep. The biggest thing for this team, the one thing that they have not done well is when they have a little bit of success, they don't understand how much harder they got to keep going at it, how much harder it becomes. Not just because of the opponent, but because what can happen to your mentality. You know, I go back to the weekend we beat Savannah State on a Friday. I did not enjoy our next couple of days of practice. I didn't think we had the right attitude towards it. You know, we got to learn that. It cost us a little bit at Temple. You know, we beat Illinois State. We didn't come out against Clemson with the right mindset. This team, and I say that in answer to Nick, because Nick has got to be a big leader for us. It's not about age. It's not about your experience. It's not about what class you're in. It's about your talent, what you bring out of your teammates. And so the Nicholas Claxtons of the world right now on our team, they've got to lead the way every day with their improvement and how hard they play and how competitive they are. Because that forces everybody else to fall in line with that. And the moment that drops off, well, then you won't have plus 42 nights like that and your team doesn't get better. So to me, that's what I'm most focused on right now. So I like that number, and that'll just drive it up even more in practice, how much better we got to get.
And you said that after Savannah State, the first couple of days, or the next couple of practices kind of dropped off. What do y'all plan to do this time to make sure it doesn't drop off as much?
You just keep going and doing the same thing. It's not like you change. We'll be back at it tomorrow. And it's not their fault, right? They're not. They score 110 points, and I think that's great. We should have scored 135, all right? I mean, we left so many points on the board. I'm not saying that in a negative way or an arrogant way. So that's what we left out there. We've got to keep understanding how valuable every possession is. And what's happening is we've got to quit turning that ball over. We were much better in the second half, but it's really hard to play guys right now, any type of extended minutes, that aren't creating the right kind of passes for their teammates because the pass is too slow, too soft, not enough velocity, bad angle, home run, you know, those type of things. I can live with missed shots, all right? I can live with all that, you know, when we're not making the right kind of pass. And I think what happens when you let down, that's the first thing that goes. You start trying to make plays that aren't there. And so we've got to keep making sure in our practices we're not allowing that to happen.
Coach, where would you evaluate where this team is defensively right now in You struggled at points in the game.
I don't have a good evaluator. You know, I don't factor it in like that. We were good tonight. Our length was good. I would say this. We had some tremendous games defensively with our deflections, with our activity, and last week there was a couple that we didn't. Okay, and I think that's a huge indicator of what kind of team we're going to have. The more that we're creating from our defense, the more that we're creating from our rebounding. I know we out-rebounded them tonight, but we got to get much better there. We got to get much better with our blockouts. So the evaluation of where we're at is too broad for me. It's more all the different areas of it that lead to where you're at defensively. You see 1 of 15, you think you're in a pretty good spot, but we gave up far too many threes last time that we played. I'm looking for improvement, right? And then you evaluate it at the end of the year when you look at, okay, where did we really make our strides? But every day we'll take this film and we'll not only build on from what we see in this film, but from what we've been doing in practice, and keep addressing all those areas that we've got to get better at on both ends, you know, offensively and defensively, and then take it from there. But I mean, short answer, we're a work in progress in all those areas. Long answer, it's a very long answer. There's a lot of things we've got to get better at.
Coach, you're playing a much faster pace than the team did last year. As a result, turnovers have been a factor. Tonight, 16. I don't know if you consider that an acceptable number. What at the pace you play? Where's the level you think? Okay, we're doing okay at that level.
It's all about decision making. I think you can drive you if you want to play fast. You're going to have some turnovers. It comes down to your decision making. It comes down to the baseball adage of hitting singles, not home runs. And too many times guys think it's the home run ball, right? It's not. All right, and to me, it's a little bit different indicator for me. You'd love to be able to say, okay, we have this many turnovers, but on the flip side, we're creating this many. That's not always, to me, what I think is indicative. I think what is indicative is what's our deflection number. And again, that's that's an internal stat. I know it's not an adopted stat in the NCAA, but we're looking for a good number in the sense when we're at a 3 to 3.5 to 1 deflection to turnover number in-house, then I'm good with that. Anything less than that, which we had tonight, I'm not good with that. And we spend time showing all the turnovers. We spend time showing, teaching through it, you know, working through it. And but at the same time, I don't want to handcuff guys. You know, we made some shots better tonight. We don't want the game to be target practice. We want the game to be execution, right? It's the same thing with the passing. Don't try to make plays that aren't there. Make the play that's there. And if we move the ball well enough and move without the ball well enough, those things happen. But there are times we try to do too much. And a lot of times it's not because we're trying to do too much for ourselves. That's another issue. It's when we're trying to do too much and we're trying to be too cute, or we keep it one dribble too long, or you know, those type of things. That's what we got to work through. So every turnover is its own story. And our job is to see if there's a trend to them, see if there's too many in a certain area. Like right now, we're having too many on the break. Okay, I'd say that right now. We're at a too high a number, and we had some tonight. We're too high a number on that on the fast break, not the made basket break, but the defensive rebound break, or the defensive turnover break. So we got to get better in that area. But that's stuff that we address on film, we address in practice, and hopefully we continue to gain that. But the last thing I want to do is take anybody's confidence.
I know T-Sean kind of hurt himself, but it seemed like he came back in. I assume he's okay, and I'm also curious about Toe and what his situation is.
Well, we're going to have to wait. The Torian is still in a wait-and-see mode, right? We're treating it as a concussion, and so I think he's getting better. You know, he's been with us the entire time, which is good. But we're going to have to be at the discretion of the doctors, and as they go through that. But I think T-Sean he'll need to make sure he's spending some time in the training room, you know, and make sure he keeps strengthening that. We'll keep an eye on that. You know, good thing is we don't play again until Monday, but the tough thing is we're playing a team that just went into Oregon last night and beat them. That's a cool watch. What kind is that?
Fossil.
It's pretty nice. Like
Yeah,
that red.
graduation gift.
Yeah. I like it. I used to wear those. Now I wear Fitbits.
I mean, I'm selling it.
You selling it?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not trying to make a deal in here. I'm just
I didn't know if that's where we were heading.
Just
I was down.
complimenting you. And I'm not looking for a freebie or a deal, right? Just complimenting. So we'll see. We'll see with T-Sean. We'll see how he feels tomorrow.
You expressed a little bit of disappointment in the fact that you returned the ball over on fast breaks, but y'all did have 20 fast break points. Do you see any improvement on the transition offense?
Sure, absolutely. Just because I come in here and honest doesn't mean I don't see improvement, right? So I'm trying to give you in-depth answers, and so people understand what we're trying to do. Absolutely, there's improvement. There's improvement all the time. We got beat 2 games last week. There was improvement in certain areas. It just wasn't in the areas that it needed to be in, you know, to win the game. So the game is always giving you something, and when you evaluate it, you've got to be able to evaluate, you know, not only what you did right, not only what you did wrong, but what are your trends and where are you heading with it? So what do you want to head off? What do you want to build more of? So we've got to get a faster fast break. We've got to create more easy baskets for ourselves. I don't care if we're a team that was making 12, 13 threes a game. We got to create more easy baskets for ourselves. The best three-point shooting teams are still the best layup teams, right? And we got easy basket teams, and whether it's the foul shot or whether it's the layup. So we got to keep getting better with that. I was really happy that at the 9:37 mark, 9:39 mark, I think it was, we were in the bonus in the first half. I thought that's important. And you don't get that without being out on the break. So, you know, there's give and take to everything, and then we just look at it and see what we've got to really focus on for the next few days once we're back in practice.
Any more questions?